My name is Chou Vue. I am 60 years old now, and I was 50 years old in 2015. I was 11 years old when the country was collapsed and my family fled to Thailand. We stayed there for 2 years, so I was about 13 when we came directly to Eau Claire from Thailand. It was about midnight, so the one thing that was very strong in memory was the cold temperature where family and friends and church members brought us coat to wear. The next day I remember cold again, and my sibling and I were very fascinating to see the snow that were left on the ground. The strong memory that I had when I first came was the transition of going to a strange land, like going to another world of its own, where language make me felt like I was a baby again. The people here in the United States seems to be quite different and ignorant of us being in Eau Claire. The people who were here first were confused why we came to the U.S. and it almost sounds like they don't know who we are, so they lumped us into Asian altogether. And then within the Asian, they would say things like gook to us at time, and all those tell us that they did not know anything about Hmong people. And then we felt that we have been friends with the CIA or the America people for over 15 years. So when we came, we would be welcomed with an open arm, but in fact we had to do a lot of presentation about who we are and why we are here. And as a kid, the one most confusing part for me was I thought the educational system would know how to receive me and my sibling and how to teach us right away. But no, it turns out that they had to scramble and find ESL teacher from the university to tutor us outside of class, after class, before class. It was Trinity Lutheran Church, a local church, and my sister and her family that co-sponsor our family. By default, the people from our church were our sponsorship, and a few of them actually volunteer to be our mentor, to be our, one of the lady became our godmother to all my siblings. And then one or two elder or retired citizens actually volunteered to tutor us at our own house. And about 15 to 20 families made extra financial offer on a monthly basis to the church, and in turn that dollar from the church turned it into a monthly rental contribution, food on our table, and enough to pay utility. So I would say the people that were very close and supportive of us immediately would be my sister and her family, and then next to that would be the church that I mentioned earlier and its congregation. When I first came to Eau Claire, the dream of going into higher education was like a distant reality, but inside I was very inspired to finish high school and go into college. Growing up, I was taught and heard a lot about education will be the key to unlock knowledge and financial support and eventually family support. So to stay independent would mean to get an education. When I started UW Eau Claire in 84 summer, I took one class. And then the 84 fall, I began to take classes as a full-time at UW Eau Claire. At that time, I probably had about 6 to 8 other Hmong college students. When I graduated in 1989, we may have right around 30 students who were Hmong students. I graduated in 1989, and I was the first to graduate from UW Eau Claire. I want to experience college and live with Caucasian friends so I can quickly speed up my socialization skills and English skill by practicing with another Caucasian roommate. So for that, I stayed in the dorm for 1 year and continue to come back to my own house to live with my family and commute to school. After college, I thought that was it. I was able to find a job and be able to bring in a steady income to support me and my family. But after 7 years of working as a social worker where I was majored in, I felt a little bit exhausted academically, socially, intellectually. So I thought maybe go back to school. It might energize me and it might give me more tool on how to be better at my job, to be more efficient at helping clients. So I went back to UW-Madison to get my master in social work. And that was in 1996 that I went to get my master. I need to move into higher education where I start as a student and intervene, intersect social issue, helping people at the early stage. So that was when I transitioned into UW Eau Claire, serving as a student services coordinator, where my job was mostly involved with meeting with middle and high school students to tell them about UW Eau Claire, bring them to UW Eau Claire through admission office, assist them do well in school, and inspire them to graduate, and at the same time educate, serve as a bridge for the population that I serve so that more of their children would come to Eau Claire and be able to stay at Eau Claire and graduate from UW Eau Claire. I would say my contribution as a citizen of Eau Claire and later as a professional has to do with community building, with bridge building, with advocacy. Some of the challenging that the Hmong face today, I would say, continue to be the way we coexist with the existing community. There are still people who, both Hmong and non-Hmong, still need to learn how to embrace, learn how to communicate, learn how to respect. I personally believe that culture includes language. So to keep culture, I make myself available to informally teach young people, role model young people the Hmong language. And at the professional level, I host pre-college camp. I help the university create language classes, Hmong language classes, so that young people can learn the language, A, just to communicate with their family, B, just so that they can still know something about Hmong and know their identity, strengthen their identity. So personally, my contribution to Hmong culture is assist young people with Hmong language. In addition to that, I would say be a role model about being Hmong, because being Hmong means everything. Hmong in my growing up, I learned that Hmong like to be independent. Hmong like to be in peace with others. And for me to say that I am Hmong to people around me, I would need to exhibit just that. So be a good role model person so that I can be seen by the community at large that, yeah, this is a Hmong person, and I want people to know us as being good, some of those good people as well. I feel that Eau Claire has been a home for me, a home where I can feel that it's part of me now. This community, whether it's clean or beautiful or not present to live, I'm a part of it, and I can help make it in a good condition like that. One of the activity that we cannot avoid is a Hmong funeral event. I would feel so bad that if a person has a need for a funeral and we would not be able to find a suitable space for that. Fortunately, because of that line of thinking, we were able to secure Hmong Community Center through Hmong Mutual Association. But this is at the beginning stage. There are still some limitations, some barriers we want to improve on. So our legacy for me and for the community is to have a more suitable, more sufficient, more acceptable center. 50 years from now, I like to see that we do a lot of giving. In the past 50 years, we did a lot of receiving. And giving, like originally, you have Christian who would establish hospital, who would establish institutional of education. I like to see that we have Hmong professional, Hmong business people, Hmong educator who step up to be CEO or owner or inventor or engineer, who would be able to financially, intellectually, and physically be in charge of resource that put us in a position to give in addition to just receiving. Almost 50 years later, I am having more confidence that things do change over time. Most of the time, change for the better. Act with insight, with hope, with long-term expectation. If you only think about today, it's difficult to anticipate positive change for tomorrow. So you have to be thinking that things can change and can change for the better. And it starts with us, with me, with you.